Begin with what might have been the biggest comeback and most stunning result of the NBA season. This is OKC with a 25-point lead last night, legs, at home in a game in which SGA scored 39 and Minnesota sat Anthony Edwards for most of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Anthony Edwards was going to be done for the night. Minnesota's kept playing. To their credit, Oklahoma City contributed mightily to this situation. But look, Minnesota sensed right here they had a chance to get back in this game and win the game.
Naz Reid, a big part of putting this comeback together. And again, with Edwards watching from the bench, his team goes on a 16-0 run with 15 seconds left in the game. It was McDaniels there forcing overtime. So now we're in the OT. Here's Caruso up and good. OKC's got a 1-point lead, but a wild sequence with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, this is wild right here. Naz Reid drives. I don't know how Lou Dort comes away with this basketball, but he's got to be more aware they're coming from behind as you head up the court. Now, offensive rebound, Naz Reid. Not a lot of contact there, but he gets a late whistle going to the line down one.
Makes both. 20 seconds to go. It's a 1-point lead for Minnesota. Here comes SGA. Look at the block from Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, give him credit. Mentally staying with it, despite the fact that, as you said, did not have much to do at the end of the game offensively. Stays with it defensively and makes one of the biggest plays, probably his career on that end.
Minnesota makes 2 free throws, so it's a 3-point game. Here's SGA for the tie, and it's no good. Oh, my God, Minnesota won. They were down as many as 25. They go on a 16-0 run without Anthony Edwards. And despite 39 from SGA, Minnesota gets the win. Startling loss for OKC. Now, let's not overreact. The Thunder still very much in control in the West, as you see. But as we start considering what teams might be the biggest threats to them, the Lakers, who will play a monster game tonight, Luka against the Mavs, are suddenly on the come. They were in 7th place on January 14th. They're 14-4 since then. And in case you missed it, Stephen A. had this to say about the Lakers after their big win against Denver over the weekend.
I can't front. The Lakers looked marvelous. When J.J. first arrived, we knew it was an upgrade from Darvin Ham offensively, but downgrade defensively. Now we're seeing the Lakers come along defensively in a very, very impressive fashion. And if that continues, oh, there's no telling what they could do in the West. They can make some noise. So I got to stand down, Shay. I got to look at the Los Angeles Lakers and go like this. Yo, these brothers got a chance. They got a chance to legitimately win the West.
A chance to legitimately win the West. Alan Hahn, agree or disagree?
Agree with an asterisk. I think what they've done, especially on Saturday, is they got everyone's attention. They got our attention. We got to see what it could look like, especially when Luka's the quarterback and LeBron James the wide receiver. It's special. But you know what? Who else is paying attention? The whole rest of the league and everybody else they're playing, and everybody else in the West. Because it's a new dynamic that now you have to watch film and adjust and see what you can do to stop them. And the one thing that you know, they're going to want to run. They're going to have to run. They don't have spacers and they don't have size. So that's going to be something to watch. But they have our attention. There's no question you can't count them out because you never, ever bet against LeBron James.
I like the question that's on the screen, Legs. Are the Lakers, in your mind, look, the Thunder are I think I'll use the word prohibitive. I mean, they've been clearly the best team since the ball was first thrown up in October. So let's say the Thunder are clearly the favorite. Are the Lakers the biggest threat?
I think I'd have to agree with it now. And look, I think it's actually might be more of an indictment against some of the other teams hovering around the top of the West that they haven't convinced us enough. Denver being the top of that list. They just hit their best stride, right? 9 straight, they're rolling. And then Saturday happens, and they get cold water poured on them, and Jokic completely bottled up, and you're like, and LeBron and Luka look great together, and you're kind of going, okay, wait a second. All right, what about the other teams that have hovered around there? Memphis, have they convinced you?
Nope.
Has Houston convinced you that they're quite ready with that super young team? None of those teams have. That's what's opened the door for this conversation, but we needed to see something definitive with the Lakers, and we saw it Saturday. Very small sample. Let's see if the consistency is there. Let's see if they can continue to protect Luka defensively. Let's see if they're big enough at times. Like, all those questions have to be answered. But right now, with what you saw on Saturday, they absolutely deserve the right to be in that conversation as the biggest threat to OKC.
You're saying the West doesn't have a Boston Celtics, so it's open for someone to grab it. between the Lakers, the moves they made, and Golden State and the move they made. The door's open for one of these veteran teams that have guys who have won championships before, because all those other teams you're naming, other than Denver, they don't have it in their pocket. Denver's the only team that has that experience.
Right. We're talking about these really young, really good teams. OKC, really young, really good. Are they ready? Houston, really young, really good. Are they ready? Will they bring in the big veteran during the offseason? We'll worry about that when we get to the summer. Could it be that one of these aging legends, and in this case, I guess we're talking about LeBron and Steph Curry here, find a way to somehow sneak all the way back to a place we thought we had finished seeing them?
I do want to be clear on something. I'm not including Oklahoma City in that group. They're in a different place. I'm talking
just because they're so much
to
better.
Challenge them.
Understood.
So that's why, to me, Oklahoma City's on a different level than Denver, Houston, Memphis.
Understood.
They just are. So
OKC's best players are also so young.
they're very young.
They're going to have to beat one of them.
They are.
They're going
Right.
to have to slay one of these dragons to get there, though.
I will say I have a different feeling about this Oklahoma City team at the 1 seed in the West than I did last year. Like last year, even though they had that position most of the season, at no point did you hear me say, yeah, they're going to the finals, they're going to win it. I knew they weren't ready. This team this year has a different feel to me. This looks like the best defensive team I have seen this year consistently night to night. And they're deeper than they've been. The emergence of Aaron Wiggins as like an additional high-powered scorer gives me more belief. So I have a lot more faith in Oklahoma City this year than I did a year ago. But the question is, will it be enough if you catch a hot, blended Lakers team heading into the playoffs? If you have to play that team at some point down the road, all bets are off potentially, but I got to see more out of the Lakers.
I'm with you. OKC is the best team. Of that, there is no debate. The question is just like we see, this is the NBA is a place where you got to sort of keep climbing the ladder, and then it becomes your time. Is it their time? We're going to find out in May.
I do too.
I got to get my notes.
For D's notes. So you ready? Here we go. The first of D's notes involves the Lakers. So defense was a huge concern for the Lakers. They were 21st in the league in defensive rating before they traded for Luka, and we thought, oh my God, they're going to be so bad at defense now. Hold on. The Lakers in 8 games since that trade are 3rd in defensive rating, 7 points lower than they had been before the trade. Tim Legler, what is your reaction to the first of D's notes?
Very surprising, honestly, especially when I watched that Charlotte game when Luka was hunted so badly in the fourth quarter of that game, and the Charlotte got whatever they wanted on the weak side of the floor, protecting Luka. But it's been better since. Now, I will say this. We saw Saturday night, very impressive, we all agree. That team and that offense and the way they operate, Denver played in perfectly to what the Lakers did, because Denver takes fewer threes than any team in the league. Their spacing isn't built for the way they took away Jokic. Let's see what happens, because it's too small of a sample size when they play a team like Boston.